Hey everyone, it's Aisling from Spades Tarot. I welcome everyone to this new channel, and I'm truly grateful for all who are joining in the collective energy of these readings. If you are new, which I'm guessing most of you are, please do subscribe to the channel, share it with friends, feel free to comment respectfully, and hit the like button if what I say resonates with you. Of course, as it is a general collective reading, not a personal reading, these readings will not resonate for every person, so please take from it only what relates to your situation and leave the rest. This series, I'm focusing on intimate relationships, partnerships, most likely romantic, but could also apply to any close personal or business relationships, family, friends, etc. And of course, these readings can apply to anyone for this reading who has Capricorn prominently in any of their major planets in their natal charts, but for me I'm focusing most of the energy specifically on those with their Venus, Moon, and Mars in Capricorn, as these planets have to do with how we love, our emotions, and how we take actions respectively. If you do not know how to find out your natal chart information or would like to delve deeper into your personal natal chart, or if you're interested in a private reading, my email will be in the description box below, so please feel free to email me for any further information or questions. So reminders, time is fluid. Whenever these readings find you, I hope and trust that it is meant to find you at that time. And also gender in tarot is also fluid, so please try not to assign gender roles for the characters depicted on the keys, as we all have masculine and feminine energy. Please adjust, your perspective of the reading to whoever it most resonates with you, and or any energy that might be directly involved with you or impacting your situation. Okay, so Capricorn, let's get started. I'm going to start by getting a little kind of general overall energy. See how it fits in with this, with the tarot later. Could I have the energy surrounding the intimate relationships for my Capricorns, please, Spirit? Energy surrounding Capricorn. Six of Wands, success and recognition. Beautiful. Stay. Get another card out. The World, cycle completion. It's the last card of the major arcana. As we all journey through life, we journey through, from the Fool, which is the 0 of the major arcana, to the World, which is 21, and everything in between. So, it's the journey of life is also the journey of tarot. Thank you. Two of Pentacles, balancing act. Okay. Trying to balance this card is a balancing act. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, 6 of Swords, tranquility ahead. It's really beautiful. Fields of lavender, kind of heading towards what's like the tree of life. Actually going to leave this upright. Clearly tranquility ahead means you're not quite there yet, which can make sense because we have this, card of success and recognition, the 6 of Wands, victory, right? You've overcome some major hurdles. You see the character standing on top of a peak. and there's still a mountain in the distance. So, it's not the end of the journey. It's not the highest peak, but it's certainly a moment of celebration. And then we have the world, cycle completion, and the dandelion goes through the cycle, and then kind of, all those spores blow off into the wind and sprout anew, right? So it's really, getting to the end of one cycle of life and starting fresh, again, on the fool's journey, right? Starting over again with something new. And you might have found that in doing so, you find yourself on this kind of, Two of Pentacles is in traditional Rider-Waite tarot. You see a character, juggling two pentacles, with the infinity symbol wrapped around them. So it's kind of like ad infinitum, and can't do that juggling forever. Just like this woman on this bounce, on this rope between waterfalls. She can't balance there forever. Eventually, the scales are going to tip one way or the other. Something's going to fall. So you might find yourself in kind of a position at the moment in your relationships where you're trying to, you've succeeded in some aspects, but are trying to balance that out with other aspects, like, maybe your relationship with your work, or, your family, or your relationships, your intimate relationship with your friends, balancing those two out. The Six of Swords is, tranquil, is moving into calmer waters, into tranquil times. So, you won't be having to juggle forever. Let's get to get a little bit more energy. The Spirit of the Wild Unknown Animal deck here. Get some animal energy. Can I get some animal energy, please, for Capricorn? What energy is Capricorn embodying right now? What energy is Capricorn embodying right now, please, Spirit? Thank you. Energy is Capricorn embodying. Snake. So it's interesting that we have the World card, right, which is endings and completions. We have that Two of Pentacles, which I said is kind of the balance, the juggling ad infinitum in the traditional tarot. And the snake comes out as this Ouroboros, which is the snake that eats its own tail, right? So it's a continuum, but within it has all of the colors. It has all of the greens and the blues and the purples. The heart chakra and the throat, all of the upper chakras, right? And as a snake kind of sheds its skin, and the skin comes off and it's kind of reborn anew, which is what is happening, at the end of the world when we start a new cycle again. So I guess, that's very suiting for, and it's interesting, even the colors are exactly the colors here, right? Between the pink of the dress, the green, and the blue of the mountain are all the colors held within this snake. So quite suiting that comes out. Let's see what the energy is. There's energy here for the person most on Capricorn's mind. What energy are they in? Thank you, Spirit. The Cosmic Egg, another snake energy. Now, it's not the Ouroboros, right? This could have to do with repeating cycles, right? Maybe, the world is about ending cycles and starting afresh. The Ouroboros, kind of, as it eats its own tail, it repeats cycles. Now, this Cosmic Egg has learned not to have to eat its own tail, yet it still holds all of the colors of the chakras, right? It holds, the yellow of the solar plexus, the orange of the sacral, the pink and green of the heart, the blue of the throat, some purple of the crown. It's the red of the root. So, you know, the cosmic egg, it's wrapping itself around all of that energy. But eggs also have to do with being reborn, right? Hatching. So I feel like you're both in very similar energies in different ways. Can I get one more on maybe the energy of the relationship between Capricorn and the person that's most on their mind? The energy of the relationship. Oh, and this came out also the last reading for, so the hawk. Now the hawk is a predator, right? It's you know, it's air energy, but it's also very fiery energy with all of this reds and orange and yellows. But the hawk also flies high and sees everything. And a hawk would eat a snake. So there might be a feeling of like not, I don't want to say competition, but sometimes people can be both extremely alike and yet at the same time, the things that make them so similar can also be their downfall, because I'm looking at this and I'm seeing the hawk looking down and seeing its next meal, which is like the snake on the ground, right? From way up high. Soaring above though, you know? So sometimes we're so wrapped up, this is the message I'm getting from my guides, like, you know, sometimes we're so wrapped up in our own stuff, you know, in our own personal things, that we forget to take a look at the bigger picture and what really matters, you know. And when you're in a relationship with two people who are both concerned with getting their own needs met or goals met or holding on to what they have and going in, you know, in the same cycle in different ways, even though these are cards on their own, I would look at it as very positive. But when I see these three together, I see, you know, the threat of the predator coming in, you know. So let's get further into the reading before we get in. We'll go into the tarot now. So, Spirit, how does Capricorn view themselves currently? How do they view themselves? How does Capricorn view themselves? One more shuffle here. How does Capricorn view themselves? Spirit, thank you. How does Capricorn view themselves? How does Capricorn view themselves, please, Spirit? How does Capricorn view themselves in terms of this relationship? In terms of the relationship on their mind, how does Capricorn view themselves? How does Capricorn view themselves? Oh, quiet. Come on. Spirit, how does Capricorn view themselves? Please make it. Okay, thank you. The Ace of Cups. So you might be dealing with a new beginning in love. You might feel like you are someone that is overflowing with emotion at the same time. You might feel like this relationship is kind of divinely meant to be. But this is all emotion, right? So let's see how. Let's have one more card of how Capricorn views themselves, please. Maybe you feel like you put more emotion into this into the relationship and the other person. How does Capricorn view themselves at this current time? Ooh. Thank you. Strength in reverse. Okay, I'm getting very strongly, and notice that the blues here are kind of like the blues here, the oranges here line up with the oranges here. Strength in reverse. It's strange because I'm seeing this face, but then I'm seeing this other face, and I've never noticed this before, where it's almost like a sad clown. It's really odd. It's really standing out to me. Where whatever you're projecting might not be how you're really feeling. And maybe you feel like you don't have the strength to resist, to resist whatever this energy is. You feel it's draining you of your, draining you of this well of this Ace of Cups, this well of emotion that both of these birds are drinking from. You might look happy, but inside feeling like you're being depleted. It's actually made me feel very heavy all of a sudden. How does Capricorn view their person? The Eight of Coins. Someone who's a master builder, putting all the pieces together, right? Typically someone who's diligent, working hard. But to me this feels very much like, I don't know if anyone's old enough to have remembered the Tinker toys, were they called, I think, where you had the wheels and the sticks, and you built these. That's what I feel like this person is doing. It's almost like they're tinkering, but they're building something, and they're in control of it. Like this person is solely in control of what it is he's building. I'm getting a strong feeling of manipulation. I've never really gotten that from this card, but that's what I'm feeling. It may just be that they're working really hard. But this person is very sure of what, you can see they're measuring everything. They're looking. They're confident in their stance. It's kind of the opposite of how this card feels. But I'm getting this feeling of control and manipulation. I don't know why, where it's coming from. Let's see how Capricorn views the relationship. But how does Capricorn view the energy of the relationship? Two cards. How does Capricorn? I saw the Ten of Wands, which is a burden. How does Capricorn view the energy of the? Capricorn view the relationship? Please, Spirit. How does Capricorn view the relationship? How does Capricorn view the relationship, please? The Sun, that's a very different energy. The Six of Pentacles. It's interesting because the Sun and Strength are both cards of Leo, right? But I feel like there's something going on in the background. It's almost like this person has built a structure, because these greens are very much going into the same greens and yellows that are on these cards. And to me, it's almost like the same structure of this Six of Coins, which would typically be kind of equal give and take. It's kind of all, they're all kind of wrapped up, if you will, almost like they're struck in the same kind of structure that this person in the same greens and yellows is wearing. is building it. So is there really an equal give and take, or is it just how you want to think of the relationship? Or maybe it is how you feel about the relationship, but is that really the reality of the relationship? We'll have to clarify. Now let's go into the person most on Capricorn's mind. The person most on Capricorn's mind, please, Spirit. How do they view themselves? How does the person most on Capricorn's mind view themselves, please, Spirit? How do they view themselves? How does the person most on Capricorn's mind view themselves? Whoa. Oh, no. No. The Knight of Wands in reverse. Let's get one more, because the Knight of Wands is kind of traditionally the player card, right? The in and out card. In reverse, the Knight of Wands is someone that can be trying to leave, their kind of player ways behind them. Again, male or female. Let's get one more. How does the person in Capricorn's mind view themselves, please, Spirit? Thank you. And the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, that's Aries and Pisces energy. And again, this came out in the Sagittarian reading, almost in the same spot. In the same placement. So you could be dealing with a Sagittarius. You could also be dealing with, with a fire sign for sure. Okay, how does also, the bow in this Queen of Wands, and I'm noticing, interesting, that she has a cape that are really kind of like the wings of that hawk, and she's got a bow, and she's also got kind of a double face there, like almost as if she's wearing a mask, and the mask allows her to hunt with better vision than if it was, because why carry a bow if you're not hunting something, right? Very interesting. Okay, how does the person most on Capricorn's mind view Capricorn, please? How does the person most on Capricorn's mind view Capricorn, please? How does the person most on Capricorn's mind view Capricorn, please? How does the person most on Capricorn's mind view Capricorn? Sorry. No. King of Cups was there. So let's see if that comes out again. How does the person on Capricorn's mind most view Capricorn, please? Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is someone who's kind of, she's no BS. That's for sure. And, oftentimes the Queen of Swords can be someone who is either widowed or divorced, and they could be They could be rather jaded or bitter, but I never see her as jaded or bitter. You know, she's just kind of wise. And the two figures on either side, it's kind of like all three cycles, mother, maiden, crone, right? It's like the maiden here, the mother figure here, and the crone figure here I see her as wise. You know, the Queen of Swords is kind of all-knowing. She knows the truth. She asks you a question. If you don't answer it correctly, you know, she's asking you so to see if you'll answer correctly, because she already knows the answer. And she's not afraid to, you know, to use her sword. You know, swords being about communication, you know, you could see this person as someone who speaks the truth, or your person could see you as someone who speaks the truth, you know, and who's been through a lot, and knows that they can't really bullshit you, which is maybe why this Knight of Wands is in reverse here, because it's like they realize they can't get away with being a player, or being, you know, because, you know, you won't have it. You will walk away. I'm also getting this feeling now from this. This is like almost like a cage, like building a cage, right? Kind of the way these coins are caged in. And then we have this kind of huntress, almost like building an animal trap. I can't shake the feeling. It's creeping me out. Let's see how they view the relationship. How does the person with some Capricorn's mind view the relationship? How do they view the relationship? How does the person with Capricorn's mind view the relationship, Spirit? No, they said no. Yeah, we can see the Eight of Swords. Knight of Cups. Okay. This relationship could have gone through a lot of deaths and rebirths, you know? Just getting that. How do they view the relationship? Get one more card on that, please. One more card. It's very early in the morning. Sun is about to rise. Get another, please, on how they view the relationship. No. No. Thank you. Ace of Wands. Passionate. They view it as passionate, but, you know, aces are about, you know, they're the beginnings of something, right? So that's, and I was just saying, I have feeling like this relationship might have gone through a good number of deaths and rebirths, kind of like the snake continuously, you know, sheds its skin and is not necessarily reborn, but it's, you know, the old skin sheds off, and, you know, its new scales are shiny and fresh and new. And I feel like that could be really kind of the metaphor for the whole thing. And what might be keeping the relationship alive is this kind of wand energy, this passionate energy. But I feel like it might be draining. You know, sometimes when we look into the sun, you know, the sun is great. It gives us vitamin D, it gives us energy, it's vitality. The sun is the happiest card in the deck. But sometimes when we stare at the sun so long, we actually get blinded, right? You're not supposed to look directly at the sun. And if you view this relationship with, you know, as the sun, it's like you've been staring at the sun so long that you're kind of blind to maybe what's happening. At the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords. Just to take note of that. I mean, that's an ending you don't come back from. So, you know, maybe as the Queen of Swords, you know, they see you as the Queen of Swords. Maybe it's like you've used your sword too many times and they're getting tired of it, but yet they keep one of you keeps trying to wake the other one up. It's like it dies and then it gets reborn with this kind of new passion, right? And that's the magic of it. But again, magic can be an illusion, right? As this person builds this thing that's floating in front of him, it's almost an illusion in itself, right? This woman with the mask that comes off. Okay, sorry, just energy is very strange. Very strange. Could I get... Okay, why does Capricorn see themselves as strength in reverse? Oh, there's a card that flipped here. Page of Wands. So maybe you feel like you don't have the same experience. I mean, this person sees themselves as the Knight of Wands in reverse and the Queen of Wands. Maybe you feel like you're not, maybe not sexually experienced enough, or not as passionate as they are, Maybe you feel drained from drinking from your cup, drained of the strength, so you feel like you have been reduced to, a page status of yourself. I'm really feeling like your self-esteem is taking a hit. And that's why it's kind of like the Aurora Boreas that eats its own tail, right? It's like you're repeating cycles, but they leave you in the same place. Whereas this cosmic egg, this snake has control over the whole situation, has, of their situation, of that egg, of the kind of universal cosmic egg. And then again, not seeing the bigger picture, this predatory energy of the hawk. Why does Capricorn's person view themselves as view Capricorn, or why does Capricorn view their person as the Eight of Coins? Why does Capricorn view their person as the Eight of Coins? The devil. And look what's on the devil card is a snake. Right? Now, that is your own card, Capricorn. This is the devil, but 1 + 5 is 6, which is also the Lovers. But I just think it's interesting. The green and the green of the snake, the green of this, there's so much green in this, and how you view the relationship. It's sometimes, it's literally like you can't see the forest sometimes for the trees, right? So I'm saying this hawk is seeing from above, and you are wrapped up in a cycle, almost trapped in this cycle that someone else is constructing and manipulating, that it could be using sexual energy, sexual power. It could be a lot of passion, but there's, where, you both meet each other on a level of passion, or a level, there's something that you both agree, you're alike in many ways, but then I just feel like one person is not quite who you think they are. And there's some sort of kind of toxic bond between you two. Why does Capricorn really see their relationship as the Sun and the Six of Coins? Spirit, please. What's the real reason what's the real reason behind the Sun and the Six of Coins? What's the real reason? Clarify that. What's the real reason behind the Sun? Nope. There we go. The Sun again. Yeah, it's like you just want to see it. This beetle is even, the beetle is holding the sun. It's touching the sun. What? One more, please. Something feels off. Something feels very off. Thank you. Ace of Pentacles. So maybe this person has money, or you think they have money. You see the relationship as a way to start a business venture together. But the funny thing is, at the bottom of the deck there is Judgment, right? And the Judgment card is a light bulb. So let's make sure that while we think we're staring at the sun and all of these pentacles, that we're not actually in a dimly lit basement where there's just one light bulb hanging from a string. And because that's all you can see, you're not noticing the rest of the surroundings. Just what's coming through. I'm telling you, it's giving me the creeps. I don't know. This might just be for one of you out there. I'm not even sure. Why does Capricorn's person view themselves as the Knight of Wands, please, Spirit, and the Queen of Wands? Why do they view themselves as the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands? Death and the Three of Cups. So this could be a death to an old way of being. But the Three of Cups, like kind of wearing this mask and this hunter, Three of Cups can be celebratory, but it can also be third-party situations. So, that's why I feel like this person is hiding something. Hiding something. Can I get one more, please? On why they see themselves. There could be something that happens with this relation. I was wondering when the Magician was going to come out, and it just did. The Magician. And actually, Spirit's telling me that it should have actually come out in reverse. I kind of flipped it over. I'll leave it upright, but the Magician in reverse is very mercurial. It's very mercurial energy. In reverse, it can be, like I said, a manipulator, right? They know that they have the power, and the Queen of Wands is someone that, kind of like the person in this Ace of Wands that stirs the cauldron through the keyhole, behind closed doors, is someone that uses the tools that they have within them to manipulate situations for their own good. And it's not always for the best reasons, for the good of others. I'm sorry this isn't a better reading, like a happier reading, it's an overwhelming feeling of I want to get out. I almost want to get out of this reading. So let's muddle our way through it. Why does Capricorn's person view Capricorn as the Queen of Swords, please? Why does Capricorn's person view Capricorn as the Queen of Swords, please? Saw the Three of Pentacles there. Let's see. The Five of Wands. So there could be a lot of there. Let's get one more. Let's get one more to clarify. The Three of Cups. I feel like this is becoming a story of he said, she said, or he said, or she said, whatever. It's becoming a story of neither of you trust each other. Both feel like the other is trying to take from them. Both are trying to hold on to what you got, and no one's looking at the bigger picture of this isn't working. because, you know, the Five of Wands is a card of, you know, fives are about chaos and change, but they're also, you know, the Five of Wands is about physical chaos, you know, within your body, or, you know, surrounding your energy. But I feel like, you know, they see you like this because they're, you know, the way you see them is secretly manipulating that, so that to keep you kind of in a confused, lack of strength, lower than them Page of Wands mindset, where also while also keeping you in this, you know, shining this, you know, with this idea that don't look behind. It's like a don't look behind the curtain, you know, Oz type scenario, where like it, you know, don't look at the man behind the curtain. I am the great powerful Oz. And you stay staring at the sun and thinking it's the sun, when really it's a light bulb in a dingy basement, you know, surrounded by like torture device. I don't, not torture devices, but you know what I mean. It's like, it's actually like your jail cell, you know, the cell that they're like this, you know, thing that they're building to keep you trapped. And when you see only one light bulb and it's the only light, it seems like the sun. That's just how I'm feeling. And they're doing it all from kind of behind the scenes, though, like, you know, this is behind the locked door. This is through the keyhole. And every time maybe you walk away, they kind of wake you back up with your own cup, by the way. That's what's so funny. They're not, you know, they're waking you up with your own cup. Because they seem to be sharing their cup, possibly with others. Can I get one more? Can I get one for the relationship? But they think you're doing the same, so they're trying to keep you, you know, it's kind of like a pot calling kettle, right? I'm going to accuse you of doing something that I'm doing before you realize that I'm doing it, even if you're not doing that. Because here in your Ace of Cups, there's only two drinking from that, you know, overflowing cup. But eventually, you know, things run dry. And then what do you do? Let's get one more for how Capricorn's person views the relationship. Whoa. Queen of Wands in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. So they view themselves in the Queen of Wands upright, but they view the relationship as the Queen of Wands in reverse here. So it's kind of like having to make it happen themselves, but again, playing, you know, again, like she has this kind of alter ego, if you will, of the Huntress. She doesn't really, you know, let's have one more. This person, Eight of Cups in reverse, walking away. 21, World at the bottom of the deck. You know, the world is the ending of a cycle, and you have it here right in the middle too. So like I said, I think this is something where either one or both of you, you could be both of you, someone walks away, the other person comes back, someone walks away again, there's some sort of thing that's holding you guys together, like the way the devil, you know, typically in the traditional tarot, you see two people and the devil, and they're chained, and they could release themselves. Nothing's keeping them chained except for, you know, some sort of toxicity, you know, that's keeping them chained. They could release themselves and walk away. But every time someone does that, the other person comes and, you know, gives someone the magical elixir, you know, the magical elixir here of life, and wakes them back up, right? Yeah, I'm not liking this energy. I'm just really not. So what are the strengths of the relationship for Capricorn, please? What are the strengths of the relationship for Capricorn and their person, the person most on their mind, please, Spirit? The strengths. What are the strengths, please? What are the strengths? Thank you. Ten of Wands. Wow, when the Ten of Wands is your strength. So, you know, the Ten of Wands is like, it's the relationship has become a burden. Look, you don't have this strength anymore because look at what you're trying to carry. One more for the strength of the relationship. Thank you. The Tower. Now, it's funny because Sagittarius also got this as their card of in the strength, and it makes sense. We're in a lot of Plutonic energy right now, you know, astrologically. You know, Pluto's in retrograde. We have that, you know, we have the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on the 15th or 16th, depending on where you are in the world. You know, and Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and so it, you know, there's definitely going to be tower moments, but I feel like the strength is like tower moment after tower moment, and that's what keeps the passion going. But that's not healthy. That's the devil energy. You know, that's what I was saying about it's like a breakup to makeup kind of thing. And yeah, everyone knows makeup sex is great. There's nothing better than makeup sex, right? But when it happens repeatedly, you get stuck in a trauma pattern, in a, you know, in a kind of a bondage pattern that is no longer healthy or fun or anything. It's just draining and toxic. What are the weaknesses of the relationship? The weaknesses? There's a woodpecker. Speaking of this wood catching on fire, there's a woodpecker outside. The birds have been very noisy lately. A lot to say. What are the weaknesses, please? Capricorn's relationship with the person on their mind. The weaknesses. Thank you. The Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is fighting against an invisible enemy. I mean, look at this. The weaknesses. You know, so it's again, it's more a card more again of turbulence, of what's the direction this relationship is heading in? Spirit saying take off, and I'm going to. Judgment. So Judgment, the Eight of Cups again, walking away, then the Five of Pentacles in reverse. It's just going to, Five of Pentacles in reverse is you know, five in the upright. It's being left out in the cold. It's, you know, being left out in the cold and feeling kind of spiritually impoverished and broken, and then in reverse, it's kind of coming out of that. But notice how this Judgment card, it's like one butterfly here. It's mirroring the other butterfly. You know, this butterfly is mirroring this butterfly, but one butterfly clearly holds the power. And then we have this Eight of Cups again of walking away. And this Five of Pentacles of like this woman bringing this cup, you know, to this kind of corpse in a way. It's like walking away and then coming back, walking away and then coming back. So it's almost directionless. It's like if you keep mirroring each other, you can walk away and come back a million times over, but you'll never get out of the karmic. It's like a karmic loop. Final one card from Spirit. Let's get one card from Spirit. Card of advice. You know, card of advice, please. Spirit, card of advice, please, for this reading that I'd like to get out of the energy. Card of advice, please, Spirit. Card of advice. Like, Spirit doesn't even have the Magician. Yeah. Magician again, but this time I'm feeling it as like you've got to use whatever you have, whatever strength is left within you, whatever, to use the tools within yourself to see, right? To really see, to take a good close look. Make sure that it's not that that you're not staring into the sun to be blinded, but you're taking a real good look at everything around you, using the tools within yourself. Don't pretend that this load isn't too heavy to carry. Don't pretend that a tower moment isn't a tower moment. And tower moments can be great too. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, if that's what's causing the excitement and the passion in the relationship, don't only see the apple when there's a snake standing, sitting on the branch in front of you. And don't allow someone to finish building a permanent, a permanent trap, a permanent, a permanent cell, while you keep thinking, I got everything made. Because this person clearly doesn't see it the same way. They know exactly what they're doing and how this relationship is. I think that they see pretty clearly. So now it's your turn. I need a final card. I'm glad that this came out. I hope that someone at least takes this to heart, and it resonates with someone. And of course, if you like just fighting and you want to continue that cycle, and you like the dramatics and all of that, and you want to keep going in that, and that's your thing, then you know what, by all means. But I don't think people generally tend to choose that unless there's something within them that kind of needs work. I find it a lot of times, people that have their own hurts and their own toxic traits that they don't want to take a look at, they end up with people with very similar traits. So and of course, if any of these kind of fights cyclical, whatever, get raised to the level of any sort of real abuse, be it emotional or physical, then just please walk away. Don't I never would say, oh yeah, if you just like getting hit, then no. If the relationship is abusive, I don't condone that. You don't need advice from spirit. Please just get out. Find friends, find a counselor, and get out and stay out. This goes for either person, whichever side you resonate with. But I think one clearly is pulling the strings here, and the other one is kind of the puppet. Can I get a final card, please? Can I get a final card? I almost feel like these aren't the right cards for this reading, but let's see what comes out. Anything wants to come out. Yeah. Again, it was like being masked by something else. 29, healing. Healing. The frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. Exactly. Healing. And it's okay if you need to take some time out to heal, or if you're healing now from something in the past that you've dealt with, and you're healing now, and this is just kind of confirmation that you got out and did the right thing, and used. So, and if that's the case, I applaud you. Healing is never an easy thing to do, and there are things we're going to have to heal from for the rest of our lives, and it sucks, but that's just life. but it can also be a really beautiful transformative process, right? So I wish you the best on your journey, especially for those of you whom this reading did resonate with. You know, giving you a giant hug. For those of you who, you know, don't want to see the sun for the light bulb, the forest for the trees, but hopefully it did shine a light bulb on maybe some harsh truths. You know, and I'm here to read the cards, not to tell anyone what to do that at all. You know, I'm not trying. I'm just here to read the cards. Whew, I'm gonna need a break after this one. Capricorns, thank you very much. Thank you again for joining me. And you know, if there's anyone that's kind of in between this energy and would like to delve deeper and get a personal reading, again, please shoot me an email. Happy to work out information with that for you. And again, thank you for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. Hopefully we'll get a, you know, brighter, sunnier, not fake sun, but real sun, sunnier reading the next time. So ciao for now, Capricorns, and namaste.